And just getting your text.
Good. All right.
Good afternoon.
Right. That's right. Good afternoon. I say happy hump day, Junior, because Tuesday is great. But when you think you like halfway through the week right before, it's a little more energy. But yes, happy Tuesday. Happy hump day, Junior. Good afternoon. Welcome to the online presence party. Okay. I see a couple attendees in the room now. So we are going to, I want to make sure we give folks a couple of minutes just to get popped in. I know some folks still register and things along those lines. So we will go on, we'll give about 4 minutes. Is that okay, Joe, before we kick it into gear?
Okay with me.
All right. All right. All right. So just everybody hold on tight and we will jump in about 4 minutes here. Thank you all. I'm excited to have a great presentation today. All right, got about 2 more minutes here. For those who are just joining us, welcome to the online presence party. We can have a great time talking about some marketing, some marketing tips today with our amazing Jazzy pin, Joan Stanford. If you haven't already, tell your friends, get them in the room. They don't want to miss out. It is going to be a good time. As for a quick note on Zoom etiquette and how we are going to be facilitating our session today, this is a webinar format. So you do have access to the Q&A and to the chat. Pop your questions in, be active in the chat, make sure that we know you're here. We're excited to not only give you good information today, but we're excited to connect with you. As always, the more you know, the better. And the more people you know, the better. So we'll have a good time and kick off in about 1 minute here. If you haven't already, don't be afraid to tell a friend. Thank you all for joining. 1 more minute here. All right, all right, all right. You had 5 minutes to tell your friends. If you didn't tell your friends yet, you're letting your people down. You still got, let them know, just in case you didn't already. But we are at 12:05. We will jump right in. Thank you all once again for joining. this session of the Online Presence Optimization Bootcamp. This is series session 3, marketing the right way and using words effectively to get business online. This session is led by the amazing, once again, Joan Stanford, Jazzy Penn, who will introduce herself as well. But once again, we're excited to have you all and looking forward to a great session ahead. Joan, thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and share with you all today. If I sound crazy or weird or a little bit different, a little bit off, I apologize because I just came back from Arizona. My oldest just graduated from Arizona State. She got a degree and I got a cold. And so how does that work? I don't know. But before we get started, I want to make sure that everyone can hear us because every once in a while, technology is not on our side and we're just talking away and there's audio issues. So if you can definitely hear me, shout out, say, hey, okay, there we go. I see some people saying, hey, I can hear you. Somebody else is in Arizona. Congrats to your oldest. Thank you. Woo woo. Welcome, Devils. I can hear you, ma'am. All right, very good. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and share my screen so that you all can see what we're working with here. All right, let's get on into this then. Marketing the right way, using words effectively to get business online. The key these days is to not only market effectively, that's what we're all about, and everyone who has a business wants to do so. Yet, I think that some people have the writing portion of marketing on the back burner. They don't think about it until it's time to actually sit down and do it, right? But I want to discuss with you several different ways where you may have an opportunity to up-level, optimize, use your words effectively to seriously market your business and get customers in the door or get them online buying your products or services, okay? I just started talking like you guys all know me. That's always the assumption. Everybody knows Joan. Everyone knows Jazzy Penn, right? For those of you who don't, my name is Joan Stanford. I am the CEO and founder of Jazzy Penn Communications, which is a marketing communications company in Rancho Cucamonga. We specialize in content marketing for small businesses. I'm going to talk about what content marketing is in just a minute, so I'm not going to tell you here, but that's what we do here. In terms of my background, I'm a journalist by trade. I have a degree in magazine journalism. I'm a former magazine editor. I have well over 25 years of professional writing, editing, and marketing experience. I know, it blows me away. But it's true. I have owned my business for over 13 years. I am certified with Constant Contact as a partner and a solution provider. Have also been certified as a woman-owned, Black-owned business as well. So a lot of exciting things going on. And my clients are all across the board. So I've worked with startups, I've worked with Fortune 500 companies, and everybody in between. My sweet spot seems to be small businesses, the in-between folks, right? So not your micro just starting, but the small businesses that are trying to get to that next level, right? So if that's you, I would love to work with you. But if not, I love to network. My social media is on the screen. So I'm pretty much at Jazzy Penn everywhere. Would love for you to reach out and stay connected. Really quickly, about Jazzy Pen Communications, the types of projects that we work on. I'm going to be clearing my throat and taking sips of water throughout this presentation, so just know in advance. Bios, professional bios is probably one of our most popular service offerings. People come to us because they have a tough time talking about themselves, right? And that's one of the things that is typically very hard to do. People have a fear of talking about themselves, and it comes across as being boastful, but that's not the case. You have to have a professional bio out there that is going to tell people who you are, what you're about, and why they should work with you, essentially. In this example, Elaine, she had been in business for several years. She never needed a bio, but she was nominated for an award, and that was one of the requirements. She needed to have a headshot and a bio, right? So she came to us and said, Joan, please help. Was happy to do so, worked with her. She opted for the bio package that we have, and that includes the short bio, long bio, LinkedIn profile. We did it all for her. Happy to report that she actually won the award that she was up for, which was National Association of Women Business Owners of California, Woman Business Owner of the Year. So very awesome and excited for her, but that's the type of thing that we like to do. Have that bio out there and have it work for you. I have clients calling me all the time saying, God, that bio that you wrote like a year ago or 2 years ago is still working for me. So anyway, moving on. Email marketing campaigns and newsletters are something that we specialize in as well. Constant Contact is a favorite, but we will use other products as well. In this case, Laura was going to be presenting at a conference, and she wanted to kind of get some early energy and people attending her booth before she actually spoke. So she was trying to, conjure up some people, foot traffic to her booth. And this campaign, she not only did that, but she had a surprise effect of actually generating revenue within the first few hours of this campaign going out. So excited for her that she was actually able to have a win-win-win because not only did she have people come to her booth, not only did she generate revenue from the campaign, but she generated new clients from that conference. So it was a win-win-win. Another opportunity that we had was contributing articles. A lot of times you might have an opportunity to present an article in an industry publication like this client. And she said, Joan, I know I'm not going to do it justice. I know that I'm not going to write it the way that it should be written. Can you help? Certainly, wrote the article for her. It's very niche in terms of the industry, but we were able to put together an article that incorporated keyword phrases. It's very strategic with this, and happy to report that based on those strategic keywords, we were able to get her on the first page of Google for a while there. So that is the power of the Jazzy Pen. And then finally, another kind of cool example is Sherlyn came to us by way of referral. She had written this book, The Mommy Advantage, and she said, Joan, I know I need a landing page that people come to purchase the book, but I don't know how to do that. Can you help me write that? And I said, of course. And she said, oh, there's one thing. I have a goal with this. And so, well, what's your goal? I'd like to be a Amazon bestseller. And I'm like, okay. No pressure. We were able to create that landing page for her, and happy to report that she actually did achieve Amazon #1 best-selling status in not one, but 2 different categories. So just a couple of examples. I could go on and on with the different wins that my clients have had using the power of the Jazzy Pen, but just wanted to give you some basic ideas of some of the things that we do here. All right. Enough about me, enough about Jazzy Pen. Let's get into the meat. Get your pens out, get your paper out. You're gonna wanna take some notes, all right? Our agenda really quickly. our short time together, we are going to dive into quite a few things, and you're going to get value, right? If you do not get something from this webinar at the end, I want you to email me and say, Joan, I didn't get anything from that. I'm okay with that. And I want to work with you and make sure that you do get something. All right. So objectives. We're going to be defining marketing the right way, because I know you think you know what that means, but I'm going to define it for you. We're going to talk about what you absolutely must know before you write anything for your business in terms of content. Okay. We're going to talk about marketing right on your website, in emails. We are going to discuss the most persuasive words in the English language. Yeah, you're going to want to take notes. And then we're going to wrap up with calling readers to action. That is the key. That is the missing piece to the puzzle for many people, as they create this content, but then they don't have a call to action and they wonder, why aren't people doing anything? You didn't tell them to. So we'll talk about that. All right. Y'all ready? Woo! I am just happy with the fingers today. All right. What is marketing the right way? Here's how I define it, right? It's something that I kind of came up with. And I thought it was cute to write, in terms of WRITE. But here's my thinking. That in order to really effectively position ourselves out there with our content, with our words, and get people buying our products and services, a couple of things have to happen. And that is the strategic usage of compelling copywriting. Okay. I'm going to pause right there because that's a term that some people get confused. You think of trademarks, some people do, right? That's not what we're talking about. That's written with RIGHT. Copywriting is a term that comes from the advertising world, and it's really using words to get people to buy your stuff, right? At the end of the day. So we're using copywriting, and we're also using effective content marketing to actually generate sales. So we're using two concepts, putting them together to generate sales. That, for me, is marketing the right way. Y'all with me? Okay. So the actual firm definitions are on the screen. So copywriting is the art and science of strategically delivering words, whether written or spoken, that get people to take some form of action. Okay. That definition comes from Copyblogger. And then content marketing, the definition that the Content Marketing Institute actually gives is that it's a technique of actually creating and distributing relevant, keyword there, and valuable, another keyword, content to attract, acquire, and engage a clearly defined audience to drive profitable customer action. Okay. Copywriting, right? Delivering those words, and then the technique of actually creating, distributing relevant, valuable content. People should want to hear from you online, offline. They should want to receive your content, your information. Does that make sense? Okay. Really quickly, just to get our juices flowing, I love to share different stats. I'm not a numbers person per se, I'm a words person, but cool numbers resonate with me. So compelling copy draws 7.8 times more site traffic and produces brand recall, which brings higher engagement rates. Okay, so what does that mean? The words that you're writing, they are so powerful, right? That they're driving traffic to your site. People are coming to your website. And people are remembering you because of the words that you're using, right? Powerful stuff, right? Next, content marketing actually costs 62% less than traditional marketing and generates 3 times as many leads. Hello. So when people are out there trying to buy Facebook ads and they're trying to do all of these, more traditional things, content marketing is the easier approach and generates more results. It almost just makes sense to do, right? All right. So before you even start, before you sit down to write your copy, to create your content pieces, there's a few things that you have to know before you start, right? So jot these down. First, you need to know your audience. I know that sounds like a no-brainer, right? Of course I know my audience. They're women, they're men, they're, sports athletes, they're whatever they are, right? Okay, great. But I need you to know them intimately, right? You need to know where they shop, where they hang out, which social media platforms are they on, right? That's very much key. I can't tell you how many people miss that piece because they're, they've been on Facebook and so they're having fun on Facebook and so they assume that their clients are there. And then upon research, it's like, you know what? Actually, my clients are on LinkedIn and I don't even have a profile on LinkedIn. See where the disconnect comes in? So you have to know your audience very, very well. Yeah. Next, know your product or service and its benefits. Again, another no-brainer, yet we know what we sell, but what are the benefits to your customer? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this later on, but keep that in mind that you have to know the benefits. Okay. The next thing you need to know is what is your ultimate goal, right? So you're all gung-ho. You are going to create this amazing email campaign. And maybe you're going to make it a series. They're going to get one email on Monday. And then next Thursday, they're going to get another email from me. And that blah, blah, blah. You've got it all laid out, right? But what is your goal? What do you want to have happen, right? And sometimes it's not as easy as just say, oh, I want sales. Okay, well, how many sales do you expect to generate from that email campaign, right? How many people are actually on your email list? And what's your open rate? What's your click-through rate? Do you know those numbers to be able to accurately assume that you're going to make X amount of sales based on those numbers? You got to know your goal, right? Is the goal simply to gain traffic to your website? Okay, great. Is it to get people to attend your upcoming event? You want a sold out event, as an example. All of these are different goals, and you have to know what that goal is. Okay. Next, it's important for you to know the different keyword phrases associated with your product, service, what you do, right? And again, sounds like a no-brainer. And when I do this presentation in person, I often will have a breakout session where we're talking about, talk with your the person sitting next to you and tell them what you do, and then ask them what they would search for in order to find you online, right? And oftentimes, it's like, whoa, I had no idea that's what you would search for, and it's eye-opening, right? So I encourage you to Come up with your keywords that you have in mind, but then ask somebody else, right? And preferably someone who would actually be part of your target audience, okay? Know what you ultimately want the audience to do. Again, this is kind of associated with the goal, but it's directly tied into your call to action. What is it that you want them to do? Do you want them to click on something? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to join your community? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to register for an event? And the list goes on. You get the idea. All of these things you need to know upfront. All right. Okay. Next, I want you to not only know all of those things that we just talked about, but I want you to be keeping in mind the number one question that your readers are asking in the back of their mind every time they come across you, your information, see you online. The number one question that they are asking is, my drum roll, what's in it for me? Back in the day, we used to call this station WIIFM, right? What's in it for me? Those are the initials. Anyway, this is important because oftentimes as content creators, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we're in the driver's seat and we think as a driver, right? But we need to be thinking about other people on the road. We need to be thinking about our prospects and put our minds in their view, right? So look at things from their point of view. They're looking at you saying, what's in it for me? What are the benefits? What do I get out of it, right? Keep that in mind as you're creating your content. All right. That was my warm up. Now we're getting to some entrees, right? Marketing right on your website. What does that look like? Well, it looks like SEO, y'all. SEO, for those of you who don't know, is search engine optimization. The name of the game as it relates to creating content online and being found is your information has to be optimized so that Google or any other search engine can find it. Okay, so that means that you need to figure out, determine what it is that your customers are searching for, right? We already mentioned this a little bit ago, where you want to find out what your prospects will be searching for to find your product, your service, to find your company. Okay. And some people think, oh, they'll just search for my name. They'll just put Jazzy Pen in there, or they'll just put Joan Stanford. Okay, what if they don't know you? Those are the people that you're after, right? Not your friends, but people who don't know you, or maybe they came across you, they met you at an event, they lost your card, they don't remember your name. What is it that they are going to put into Google to find you? You need to know that, okay? Because you're going to use those words and phrases and incorporate them within the content on your website, within the content on your social media pages, within the content in your email campaigns, etc. All of these keywords and keywords phrases should be incorporated in your content in a natural way. And I say that because years ago, we had this thing where people were just using phrases just to kind of get people there, right? So let's say I was, Jazzy Pen Communications, and on my website, I'm putting things like, Beyonce's new swimsuit or something, something that people would be all into, right? You know, Travis Barker and it's not Chloe, whatever, Kardashian, Courtney. You know, I would be putting that information on my website just to attract people. But the search engines realized what people were doing, right? And so now you get dinged for doing stuff like that. You want to incorporate these keywords that are relevant, and you want to incorporate them in a natural way so that they flow, right? So you're still writing for your prospects. Don't write for the search engines, okay? Another thing is to consider voice search. Nowadays, we are quick to pick up our phone and say, you know, I don't want to say it with my phone because she's going to start answering me like, hey, SIRI. You know, we're asking Siri, we're asking Alexa, we're asking all of these voice assistants to help us find different things. And your prospects are doing the same thing. So what would they be asking Alexa in order to find your product or service? Okay, the next thing you want to do is, as you're developing your content for your website, you're incorporating information on the back end that people are not seeing. So these are meta titles and descriptions, and you're incorporating keywords there, okay? Want to dig a little bit deeper and show you different places where you can incorporate these keywords and keyword phrases. Number one, headings within your content, right? The headings and the actual content, you're incorporating keywords as they naturally flow, right? So don't just put, you know, women's jewelry, you know, and have that just everywhere. That doesn't make sense, and it's not going to be attractive to the reader. It might attract the, but it's not going to attract the reader. We want to attract them both. That makes sense. Number two, image file names. Search engines don't see pictures, right? As much as we like to put awesome, beautiful pictures on our websites, the search engines don't see them, right? But what they do see is the file names that we are naming these images, right? So it's a very small ranking factor, but every bit counts. So consider incorporating keywords into the file names of the images that you're using on your website, right? So instead of it being, you know, image 00596, maybe it is something to do with your business, lender 101, or I don't know, you know, women's necklace, gold, that sort of thing. Third thing, titles. Titles on your webpage should have keywords incorporated. If you are able, URLs, this is a tricky one because oftentimes we, you know, we're getting URLs as they relate to our business, and we like to be cute. We like to be, you know, but this is a place where you could essentially have, you can buy a domain or a URL that incorporates keywords in your industry. So, you know, for me, my business name is Jazzy Pen Communications. I was very strategic in getting just jazzypen.com. I wanted it to be very short and easy for people to remember, right? And furthermore, a lot of people misspell communications. It's just easier to have Jazzy Pen, right? But that doesn't necessarily include what people would be looking for to find me. They're looking for content writer. Right? So I could essentially buy contentwriter.com. I'm sure it's not available, but you get the idea. If that was the goal, to incorporate the keywords within the URL, or thereby, thereabouts, I could buy contentwriterrancho.com or something along those lines, okay? Next, already mentioned it, but in the description. So in the back end, as you're creating your content, you have an opportunity, you know, within WordPress or other website creators, you can put in descriptions, and within those descriptions, incorporate your keywords and keyword phrases, okay? Moving right along, so you've got your keywords. Another important piece is to write using the voice of your customer. And this is something that, again, a lot of people don't necessarily think about, or you think you are, but you're really not. Using the words that your customers actually use. I can't stress this one enough, right? Oftentimes, in business, we are thinking about these high-level words, we are thinking about capital for businesses versus money for your business, right? Maybe there are clients that are saying, I just need money for my business. I need money to help me grow. That's the exact phrase that you should be using on your website, right? So the first one is identify their pain points. What are issues that your customers are having that you can solve? And you incorporate those pain points just the way that they have described them within your copy, okay? How do I do that? Where do I get this information? Take a look at customer reviews. You can conduct different surveys. You can send out an email and ask for feedback. The way that they type it in, word for word, or if you're on a phone call and you hear them say, this is the issue that I'm having. Da, 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 da. The bells should be going off in your mind. This is verbiage that I should be using in my copy, right? Not only is this going to help you to attract your customer because you're using their voice, but it also helps you come across as more relatable, more understandable. You relate to them, right? And your copy, your content is going to resonate with them more. On the screen, I grabbed an example from Trello. Trello is a great product. And if you don't know about it, see, and I don't want to tell you what it is, but before I even go into that, let's just read it. The heading is Trello lets you work more collaboratively and get more done, right? And I thought that was a great heading and a great example of using the voice of the customer, because I can almost guarantee, I don't have the stats on this or don't know anyone at Trello, but I can almost guarantee that they did the research and they discovered that their customer wasn't saying that they want to work collaboratively and expand their horizons in their industry and efficiently come together with multiple people. No. What the customer said was they want to get more done in the day, right? And Trello took that exact verbiage and put it here as a heading. So now our product is going to help you to work collaboratively with others and get more done. See how that works? Yeah, there's more information there, and I'm not going to read all that, but that heading stood out to me as a company, excuse me, that is using the voice of their customer. All right, so I hope you guys will do the same. Next, emphasize benefits rather than features. That's going to help you to market the right way, okay? Benefits, there's an old adage that say benefits sell and features tell, and it's true, right? Because benefits are selling and getting into the emotions of your buyer, And features are just telling people what they get, right? It's almost like that laundry list of you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. You want to focus in on the benefits, right? And a good way to see if you're highlighting features versus benefits is whatever it is, add so what after, right? So, and what I mean by that is on the screen, we've got ice cream, right? The feature is that it's gluten-free. So what? Right? What does that mean? It's gluten-free, so what? No added sugar. So what? And it's organic. So what? Right? On the other side, you can eat this ice cream guilt-free. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I don't have to worry about extra pounds, right? I could just grab my spoon and have this carton all to myself. That's what I'm talking about. See how now they're in my emotions, right? All you can eat. Say less, right? That rocky road has my name all over it, right? And it's healthy. Oh, look, how can I get 2 for 1? Now I'm trying to get many of these cartons of ice cream into my basket. See how that works? Right? So it's really, you can tell people about the features, but it's the benefits that people are more attracted to. Bonus tip, always offer this as a test, if you will, is think of your competitor, right? Can your competitor say the same thing, right? So if I am the seller of this ice cream, my competitor may have a gluten-free product as well. They don't have sugar in their product as well, right? Their product is organic as well, right? Maybe we're both for sale in Trader Joe's. I don't know, right? However, I'm going to position my ice cream as being the guilt-free option, right? The competitor's not saying that, right? So, and you can play around with that, and we can do all sorts of things. So I could go into a whole bunch of different things there, but you get the idea. Benefits sell, features tell. Focus on the benefits. All right, moving on to emails. With emails, it's pretty straightforward and simple that it's all about the subject line, right? Your subject line is going to make or break you. I hate to even just put it that way, but it's the truth. We are so busy these days. We're looking at emails on our phones. We have literally 3 seconds to capture the attention of our audience, right? That all rests on the shoulders of your subject line. Your subject line is either going to be of interest and activate them, and it's going to stop the scroll and cause them to open, save for later, or what have you, or continue to scroll and move on. Worst case, delete the email and move on about their life, right? We've got to grab them with a powerful, compelling subject line. Okay, so how do we do that? Got a couple of ideas for you. And these ideas actually come from my good friends at Constant Contact. Some ideas: make them laugh, right? Use humor. If humor is not your thing, then don't do it. I have to preface that by saying, because some people, humor, it worked for 13% of your readers and the other people didn't get it, right? So make sure that you're comfortable and it works, feels good to you and your brand, okay? But you can definitely make them laugh be funny in your subject line. Distinctive Landscaping did it with Calm Down, Mother Nature. And then they followed up with pre-header text, which is the text that comes right after the subject line. The snow isn't going to slow us down. We're still landscaping or whatever. I don't know what the rest of it is, but you get the idea, right? Use numbers. Numbers are tried and true. One of those things that will never go out of style, will never be, old hat, because we as people are attracted to numbers. We want to see them, right? So Jack's Jack's Backyard Barbecue used the number 5 in their subject line. 5 tips for perfectly grilled ribs. I'm interested. I want to know what the top 5 are, right? They followed up with a nice pre-header that said ribs that will knock your socks off. Say less. I'm all in, right? Number 3, be inquisitive, right? Spark that curiosity, right? ABC Financial says, are your investments working for you? Well, shoot. In this market, with this stock market going on right now, I don't know, and so 3 questions to ask to maximize. I'm going to click on that because I'm interested. They've intrigued me, right? And that's the goal. You want to intrigue people. You want to ask a question that's going to make them think. Stop the scroll. Are my investments working for me? I got a lot of things going on in lots of different places. It's a very good question. I wasn't looking at it this week or today, but now I am going to look, right? Next, that emotional component. I can't speak enough about it because oftentimes we buy based on emotion, not logically, right? And I know I'm guilty, right? I will walk into a shoe store and those pair of heels, they just called my name. I just had to have them, right? Now, logically, I have 1,001 heels. I don't need another pair, but they just called my name, Same thing here with emails. Pull at their heartstrings, right? The animal rescue did that with take 5 minutes to help animals in need. Also, they used a number. Take 5 minutes. It's not going to take you all day. 5 minutes to help animals in need. How can you not, right? Next, create a sense of urgency. It stops the scroll because people are like, wait, what? Right? French Consulting said, last chance, register by Friday. Oh, shoot. I had been seeing the previous emails, it didn't stop the scroll, but now they're saying last chance. This is my last chance to get in, so I'm going to take action, right? Furthermore, the pre-header text says reserve your spot today, okay? And lastly, make it personal. If you are able, personalizing that email subject line is going to go a long way. First of all, if I see my name, we all, if any of us see our name, we immediately are like, huh, right? It gives us a little pause. And if you have an unusual name and they spell your name right, it's like, oh, look at you, right? So now we're interested. In this case, the cheese shop says, Stephanie, do you love cheese? Right? Speaking directly to Stephanie is going to get her to stop and open that email. If you do not have the person's name, you can do your still, all of that is feeling more personal, right? Versus, people who love cheese will love this or something like that. That's just kind of for everybody. But if you say, do you love cheese? Or I have a sneaky suspicion that your craving for cheese is going to be handled. I don't know. whatever the case may be, that gives us a little bit more personalization, or at least the feeling of personalization. All right. So the subject line and the pre-header text I've kind of already mentioned go hand in hand, right? Your subject line is doing all the heavy lifting, and the pre-header comes in as a spotter in the back, right? They're helping, right? So if the subject line is "we pack with confidence, guaranteed," and then the pre-header says "safely and securely ship your items with UPS," blah, blah, blah. That's the pre-header text that actually gets us to really want to read more. Definitely use the two together. I've seen too many people just use a subject line and there's no pre-header text. Okay. Bonus, your pre-header text should be 5 to 8 words. Next way to market the right way is to use power words, right? And this is across the board, not just in emails, but across the board in terms of creating content for your business. Be using those words that stand out, right? On the screen, you see words that conjure up the feeling of trust, encouragement, vanity, and curiosity, right? So, no risk, guaranteed, all of these words give you that feeling that you can trust that you're going to be okay with this purchase, right? Amazing, happy, courage. Those are encouraging words, right? This trip is definitely going to make you happy, or whatever the case may be, right? Vanity, you can conquer your fears, discover this remarkable way in which to shorten the loan cycle, right? Curiosity, here are 5 hidden secrets to writing effectively, to planning a wedding, to whatever, right? Unlock the tools that you need to create a graduation party that's unforgettable. I don't know. You get the idea. But these are the types of power words that give people pause. And that's what we want to have happen. Okay? Marketing right on social media. Wrapping up quickly. The name of the game on social media is really encouraging engagement. You want to encourage engagement for 2 reasons. One, pretty much all of the social media platforms are looking for that, right? And they are rewarding people who have posts that people are engaging on. In fact, they are rewarding you by having your posts be seen by more people. So it would behoove you to encourage engagement, right? The other thing is that people will see engagement happening and want to engage with other on your post, and you want to have that happen as well, right? So it's like if I see Cindy say, "Oh, great post, Joan," or whatever, then I'm like, "Oh, hey, Cindy," and I want to have a conversation. That's the whole purpose of social media in the first place. And so that's why these platforms are encouraging us to engage with one another. So how do you make that happen? Ask a question, right? You can ask your followers to sound off in the comments, to drop an emoji or a GIF, and they're doing that. And the more people are doing that, the more excited the social media platforms are becoming. They're like, "Ooh, well, shoot, let's show her post to 500 more people," right? You can ask for opinions, right? Do you like this or this, right? I'm going out tonight and I'm wondering if I should wear these earrings or these earrings, right? That would be a great post for someone who's selling jewelry, as an example. Maybe you've got a new headshot and you've got a couple of different options. You've got a book that you've written. I've seen that happen often, where someone's written a book and they've got two different covers that they're debating between. Your social media followers can help you make that decision. And just by having that engaging conversation on one post is going to elevate you in the minds of that social media platform. Make sense? So you want to get your audience involved and focus in on engagement, right? Next, I mentioned to you that I was going to share with you the 14 most persuasive words in the English language. And I'm sharing them with you so that you can incorporate them in different pieces of content that you may create. Okay? Voila! I didn't do my late. You is always going to be a persuasive word, right? Because it personalizes things for us. Now it's about us. Remember, the most important question is what's in it for me? You can save time. If you say you, all right, it's not mothers of teens, it's you, right? So yeah, I'm all in. I'm not going to go through examples with all of these, but free, easy, save, guarantee, proven, discover, safe. People want to feel safe, right? And I love because validates for us, right? I often share the example of, you may go into Target, right? Popular place, people might go to shop. We think we're grabbing one thing and we grab 100, but that's another topic. But as we're walking in, every once in a while, you may come across a kid who's selling chocolate, right? And the kid said, hey, I've got chocolate for sale and, they're $5 each, can you help or whatever. And you're, no, thank you. And you walk in, right? However, that same kid, or maybe a different kid at the other door says, hey, ma'am, I'm selling this chocolate because I'm trying to go to the camp in Brazil in 2 months and I have to sell. See what he did there? He told me right off the top why he needs my $5, right? I don't even care what he's selling. It could be beef jerky, but I'm going to help that baby get to Brazil. So here you go, right? Because he used the word because and validated it for me, right? I want you guys to be using that too. Moving on, the link between your goals and actual results are these two men. No, I'm just kidding. Call to action, right? You have to have a call to action if you want people to actually take action. And that, again, seems like a no-brainer, seems like, of course, but you'd be surprised at how many people get so involved in creating their content. It's like, oh, my picture's perfect. Oh, that video was awesome. I got it in one take. But what was your call to action? Missed the boat, right? And thus, that's why you're hearing crickets, right? Have a call to action. I had a client who had an amazing website. She said, Joan, I spent way too much money on this website for it not to be, generating calls. And I'm like, well, okay, let me take a look. Lo and behold, did a full-on website audit for her. And come to find out, she did not have the phone number on the website for people to call, right? You want calls, but you're not giving them the phone number. How are they supposed to figure that out, right? So no shade to her, but yeah, that happens. So Think about that, right? We get, again, so wrapped up in every other element of our marketing strategy that this very crucial component, the component that actually is going to convert for us, we forget about. So I encourage you, please don't forget about your calls to action. There's different sides of the coin to, should every piece of content have a call to action? Some people say yes, every single piece of content, and some people say no, right? I'm of the idea of not every piece needs to have a call to action, but majority should, if you want people to actually take action, all right? So some tips here with your calls to action: be direct, be specific, tell them exactly what to do, right? And go beyond click here, right? That was the standard call to action that people would have online. Click here, click here, click here. It's one of those things that's kind of played out and people are over it, especially if it's just a basic link versus a button. So think outside the box and use other verbiage there, right? Some examples that I just jotted down: discover your best life. Discover is one of those persuasive words, by the way, right? And that intrigues people. Yeah, I do want to discover my best life. I'm going to click. Join our community, right? You're very specific, very direct. Book your next adventure. Not consider, not think about, or when you're thinking about your next trip, you might want to consider, no. We're being very direct, specific, and telling them what to do. Get started now, right? Sense of urgency. Examples on the screen with buttons. I just kind of grabbed these from online. Don't settle for bad stock photos. Use better photos. Very specific and direct, and that's something that I would be into. I would click that button, right? Ready to check out the blog? Yes, take me there. Notice how they're speaking directly to me, as if, what's in it for me? Take me there. I want to check it out. Yeah? All right. Ooh, I'm getting good with this timing thing. Any questions? Woo!
So I did answer a couple of questions in the Q&A. Bernard had asked if we will get a copy of this webinar. Most definitely. You will also get a recording of this seminar as well. Highly recommend anyone who does have a question, take advantage of this opportunity to ask it now. We'll give a minute or two just
Don't be
to
afraid. I won't bite.
That's right. Okay. All right. Yes, no problem, Bernard. Thank you for joining today. All right.
Awesome. I see
Well,
some
I do
activity,
want to
but
take. Oh, go ahead, Joan.
Oh, no, it's okay. I thought I saw a question coming in, but maybe not.
There was. Well, it was in the Q&A box, but Bernard had just said thank you. Appreciate it. Goodbye.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, here we go. We do have one. Bernard's popping back in. He asked, what are the specific words for a home care website?
A home care website. Home care as in your taking care of individuals at their home, like sending out CNAs, or I'm not clear as to what kind of home care. Can you elaborate just a little bit?
Bernard, I just gave you talking permissions as well, if you wanted to unmute and specify your question.
Hi, thanks for taking my question.
Absolutely.
I am now having my website built, and I know that this is a very competitive industry. I'm a CNA home care person as well, and I am looking for the exact words that would drive traffic to my website, and also to include in my folder as I go around. If anybody reading anything, it will be catchy enough to draw them to me.
Got it. Well, because I haven't done the research on your specific industry, I'm thinking of words that there's going to be words that you can look at your competitors and see what words they're using, of course.
Okay.
But what words are what are the challenges or the pain points that your clients or your customers are saying that they are experiencing? You know, maybe it's off the top of my head, you know, maybe it has something to do with COVID precautions, you know, people coming into the home. So, you know, home care with COVID precautions or something along those lines, may be a phrase that you incorporate if that is indeed a pain point. I'm thinking, you know, just if I was to use such a service, that may be something that would be an issue for me, or something that I would question. Is it price? Is it, you know, so maybe we're saying affordable home care, and we're including the area, if it's, you know, Claremont, Rancho, Pomona, wherever. The location is always going to be good for something like that as well. So I would certainly encourage you to include location.
Okay.
But those are just a couple off the top of my head. Certainly, if you'd like to work together, I could give you a whole slew, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that at some point I'm gonna come to you for when I have to write articles or something, you know, in the industry publications.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you for asking the question, Bernard. We love it. We love it.
For sure. And thank you for being here.
Are there
Any other questions? Look, Bernard wasn't shy. Anybody else?
Don't be shy. No need. We are all friendly and we want to support your growth. This is the
For
time.
sure. David, Mary, Melody, Rachel, Stacy, anybody? Nope, you guys got it?
All right. Joan, I can never thank you enough. So I'm going to let you wrap on up, and then I'll give a final recap of our session today.
For sure. For those of you who have questions but don't want to ask in front of the group, or would love to have one-on-one time with me, we can certainly do that and dive into your content marketing approach, dig into different wording and brand positioning for your business, whatever it is that you'd like to discuss. Maybe it's creating taglines for your business, brainstorming content ideas, developing an editorial calendar, whatever it is that you need at this time that we can get done in 1 hour, 60 minutes. It's my power hour of working with you. What I have you do is fill out a questionnaire beforehand so that when we actually get together, it's a powerful session and you can get what you need from it. My jam sessions are normally $259, and I am giving it to you all. What is it, 6 or 8 of you that are still on the call right now for only $99. But that's today only. So even when you get the recap and Brian sends it out, you know, tomorrow or whenever, it's today only. I'm checking my emails today. If you email me today, look, and let me take a note of who's on the call. Joan at jazzypen.com. Email me, jam session 99. I will send you the link to purchase for that price and we will get that going. I've had so many people say how much value I'm a value giver. If you can tell just by the presentation and the fact that there weren't a lot of questions, tells me that I covered the information in great detail, right? Some people, you'll get on a call with them and they're just all fluff and they're not really giving you, you get 1 or 2 points. No, I give you the goods. And even more so in my jam sessions. So if that interests you, like I said, please email me, Joan, Joan, at jazzypen.com, jazzypen.com today, by end of day. And end of day for me is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Email me and we can get you going. If not, no worries. Reach out to me on social media. I would love to connect with you, network with you, especially on LinkedIn. All right. That's it for me. Brian, tell them about AMPAC. I feel like we don't speak enough about AMPAC.
Joan,
and I feel like that. I just feel that way, and I'm part of the AMPAC family, whether they want to adopt me or not. So AMPAC Business Capital does what? Come on.
We love having Joan a part of the AMPAC family, okay? And AMPAC Business Capital, we are only continuing to build out our entrepreneur ecosystem. This is a growing community of growing business owners. And we're excited to welcome you all into our community today and for the future. So I am going to put this in the chat now, but we are having one more session with Israel Cerna coming back for this online presence optimization bootcamp next Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m., where he will be covering nothing but building your website effectively. So Bernard, if you want some more tips and tricks, definitely a good session to come to next week. So that link to sign up on our Eventbrite page is in the chat. But AMPAC's entrepreneur ecosystem is open to you 24/7. You may join our community by downloading our app on the App Store. Just type in AMPAC Business Capital, and we make sure we point you to free business consulting, free business mentoring. We put loads of on-demand resources into this one app just for your growth. We also have created it as a community. So you'll get weekly blasts from us. You can post to the feed and talk to the community. You can DM people in the community. And you have options to grow alongside us and the entrepreneurs who are within our ecosystem. So we are grateful to be able to serve you. We thank you all for joining today, and more to come. I definitely recommend you take advantage of this special, by the way, because I will tell you the value you will get from Joan is next level. But I will let you make that call. Thank you all so much for joining. And yes, we will be sending out a recap at the end of the boot camp. And hopefully we will see you all next week. Have a great day. Happy Friday, Junior, and a phenomenal rest of the week. Joan, thank you so much again. This was amazing.
Awesome. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday.
Goodbye, you all.
Bye, everyone.